Hello, it's Leslie Fightmaster, and today's class is Yoga for Flexibility, focusing on the shoulders. So, Red Hot Chili Pepper OU wanted some more flexibility, including shoulders, and Alicia was asking for yoga for rock climbers, shoulders, forearms, and being tight. So, I'm going to start in child's pose. You can keep the knees together or apart. And if it's too much to take the hips back to the heels, you can lift up off of your heels and maybe slide a blanket or a towel in between the backs of your thighs and your calves, resting the head on the mat, or you can make fists with your hands and rest your head on your hands. Just to take a few rounds of breath, setting up for our practice. As you inhale, we'll reach the arms forward and stretch them out. And on your next exhale, I'm going to swim the arms back to the lower back. So sweep the arms back, either interlace your fingers or hook your thumbs. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, start to lift the arms up. Any amount, doesn't have to be much. Little by little, we're going to work on opening up our shoulders. So if this lifting of the arms is not really so much there, it's fine. Just a little by little. If you have a strap or a towel, you can also use that to hold on to. That'll make it easier. I'll release down, stretch the arms forward again. Just reach and walk the hands forward so your wrists and your elbows are off the mat and your arms are engaged. And then we'll sweep them back once again, interlacing other pinky on top or other thumb. And exhale, start to reach the arms up again. So second time, see how that's feeling. It's getting a little more movement perhaps, or maybe not yet. Any amount, it never matters how deep we get into a pose, just matters that we feel a stretch. And extending the arms forward again, we'll come up to hands and knees with wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Gonna inhale and extend the right arm straight out to the side and then thread it underneath the left arm. So we're onto the right shoulder, left hand to the low back, or you'll reach around, hook it onto the right thigh. So you can stay right here, rolling the top shoulder back, pulling back on the right hip to keep the hips level, or extending back through the left leg, tucking the toes, keeping the foot on the floor, or maybe lifting it. If you lift it, drop the outer left hip down, squeeze the inner thighs a lot, otherwise you're going to roll on your back. Releasing back into center, back to hands and knees. And then inhale the left arm out to the side, stretch it out. And as you exhale, sweep it underneath, coming onto the left shoulder. And then we'll bring the right hand again, either to the low back or to the left thigh. Pull the right hip back, and then roll the top shoulder open, squeezing the shoulder blades toward each other. You can add extending the right leg out, tucking the toes under, or maybe lifting the leg. And again, lifting the leg, make sure you drop the outer hip, spin the inner right thigh up toward the ceiling, and squeeze your inner thighs toward each other. So just rolling right over toward your back. And let's release that, coming back up onto the hands and the knees. And then sitting back on the heels or sitting on a block into Dhanurasana or Virasana. So Virasana, the heels are a little on the outsides of the hips, either with a block or on the floor. Sweep the arms out, around, and up with palms facing each other, stretching up tall, but keeping the ribs in. And then bend your right elbow. Take your left arm out, thumb facing down, and bring that left arm behind you. If you can hook and clasp hands, then you will. Otherwise, hold your shirt. You're going to roll the left shoulder back as you reach the right elbow straight up and spin the right tricep in toward your face. The back ribs lift as the front ribs soften in and the belly is lifted. I could be lifting my ribs in a little bit more here. Keep wideness in the collarbones And again, we're just stretching open the shoulders today. Inhale and release. Now the other side. Stretch both arms up first just to even out. Keep the ribs in, then bending the left arm. Point the elbow straight up, right arm out, thumb down, and then take it behind you and clasp. Sometimes you can clasp on one side, but not on the other side. Totally normal. You can hold onto your shirt if you need to. Spin your tricep on the left arm in toward the face as you roll your right shoulder back. So widening the collarbones as you stretch out the shoulders. Shoulder blades are moving toward each other and in toward the chest. On exhale, we'll release it. And then reaching for a strap, or you can get a towel, something that's pretty long though. So if you want to push pause and grab that, push pause and then come on back. Start with your arms wide. We'll inhale, reach the arms up, and then exhale. Take them back. This gets right into the pecs. It feels so good. And then we'll inhale, bring the arms back, and exhale, bring them to the front. Now if you have any discomfort going from the back all the way to the front again, then you can skip it, which I'll show this time. If you need a wider stance with the arms, take it wider. Inhale, reach up and back, opening the chest. And then if you want to skip that part coming back, just release your strap and bring it in front of you. Okay. So maybe you want a longer stance or a stretch with your hands. Maybe you want to shorten that width between the hands. Inhale, reach up, exhale, and lower. So you can kind of play with how wide you want your hands to be. And one more. Inhale, reaching back around, or not. You can skip that part. Don't want to hurt your shoulders by any means. Exhale, and we'll release that. Putting the strap off to the side, and then putting the block off to the side. Coming to hands and knees. And then walk the hands forward about a handprint. Spin your inner elbows toward the front of the mat and press into the thumb and first finger side of the hand as you stretch back slowly. So imagine you could continue to spin your inner elbows toward the front of the mat as you press into that thumb and first finger side. So you're spinning the triceps, the outer upper arms back, and the biceps toward the front of the mat, which is that external rotation we like of the arm and the shoulder socket. And then bicycling your legs if you'd like to. Bend one knee and the other. Make sure the arms or shoulders distance apart, feet hips width. Draw the front ribs in, draw the belly in. If your legs are straight, firm them. Look forward and stepping up. Inhale, make a nice flat back. Exhale and fold all the way and reach the crown of your head toward the floor. Inhale. Root down, reach all the way up and look up, and exhale. Samastitihi. Inhale and reaching up. Bend your elbows and just try to touch your hands toward your shoulders. So palms are just flat right on the shoulders. And this will give you a nice stretch in your triceps. And reaching up again. Exhale and fold in, hips over the heels. On the inhale, make a nice flat back to lengthen. Exhale, stepping to plank, top of a push-up, and lower slowly all the way to the floor. You can always take the knees down first. Interlace the fingers behind your back, or hook thumbs, or grab a strap. Inhale to come up, so lightly press the pubic bone into the floor as you reach the tailbone toward the heels, spinning the inner thighs up toward the ceiling as if you're squeezing a block between the legs. Keep the back of the neck long and release. Hands by the rib cage for Cobra. Peel the chest up and then to the knees, tuck your toes under and into downward facing dog. So as always, if you want to take a break, you can always push pause, take the knees down, take a nice rest. Always, always your option. Looking forward, we'll bend the knees and step the feet or hop if you like. Inhale, make a flat back, and exhale, fold in, hips over the heels. Root down, rise up on the inhale, lengthen, and exhale, samastitihi. Inhale, sweep the arms out, around, and up. Exhale, folding in. Inhale, lengthen, halfway up, and exhale, stepping or floating back. If you float, you land in chaturanga with bent elbows. Lower down from plank all the way to the floor. Interlace the fingers, other pinky on top or other thumb, and Shalambhasana. Inhale to lift up. So pelvis slightly pressing down, tailbone toward heels, hip bones lift toward the low ribs, and open up the chest, widen the collarbones as you move the shoulder blades toward each other. Releasing hands by the rib cage. Inhale, press through the hands and feet, upward dog, or you could stick with Cobra. And exhale, make your way into downward facing dog. Keep the ribs and belly drawing in as you press back to lengthen the spine. Look up, bend the knees, step or hop feet to hands. Take an inhale to lengthen, exhale to fold. Okay, root down to rise up. Inhaling and stretch, exhaling, samastitihi. And then from here, we're going to take a balance. So crossing the left leg over the right, we'll bend the right knee. I was having some trouble balancing today, so that happens. So you're either going to hook it around once, cross it once, or wrap it around the calf as well. Keep your nice steady gaze and take your right arm over the left. So backs of the hands can touch, palms can touch, or touch your shoulders. And lift your elbows slightly as you draw the shoulder blades down. So there's a full moon today. So that's why I'm having trouble balancing. At least that's what I decided I would blame it on. It's possible. Okay, and then we'll release that, stepping back with the left foot into crescent. Drop the tailbone, lift the belly, and then keeping all that nice length in the low back, maybe leaning back a bit. So if you're thinking back bend, think upper back, back bend, not lower back, back bend. And make sure your right knee stays over the ankle. Undo the arms, take the hands to the mat, chaturanga, lower down. Inhaling, press through the hands and feet, and exhaling into down dog. And stretching back just for a breath. Look up, bend the knees, step or hop forward. Inhale to lengthen, exhale and fold. Inhale, and bend the knees, Utkatasana, reaching up. And Samastitihi, we'll do the other side. So take a little bend in the knees. And now across the right leg over the left. So either cross it around once or hook it around the foot or on the calf. And bring the arms out, left arm over right, and either backs of the hands can touch or touch your shoulders or touch your palms together. Lift the elbows up, drop the shoulder blades down. You can keep the shoulders and the hips square to the front of the mat, keeping a real nice steady gaze as you squeeze the legs. Lift the elbows a little bit, but the upper back is welcome to round slightly here. As the shoulder blades are moving away from each other. And then we'll uncross the top leg and step it back. Make sure you step it back far enough. Drop the tailbone, lift the belly, get length through the low back. And then, if you'd like, start to lift the elbows, looking up, taking a little back bend, but it's in the upper back. It's not in the low back today. Gets right into the shoulders. Release, stretch up through the arms on the inhale. Exhale the hands down. You can go right to down dog or back to plank to lower. Inhaling up, roll your shoulder heads back. Exhale, downward dog. Stretching back, look up. Bend the knees, step or hop, feet to hands. Inhale, lengthen up, and exhale to fold. Bend the knees, fingertips on the floor, and then reach your arms up by your ears. Try to touch your belly to your thighs. And then peel the belly off the thighs, dropping your tailbone down, swim your arms back, interlace your fingers or hook your thumbs, open the chest on the inhale, then bring your belly back to your thighs as you exhale, and slowly straighten your legs any amount as you reach your arms up and over. Crown of the head is reaching toward the floor. Hips over heels. Let your head just hang right down. And then bringing the hands to the low back again. Drop your tailbone down, reach your arms up, belly on thighs, stretching forward. Weight is in the heels. And then peel the belly off the thighs, but keep the weight in the heels. Swim the arms back, interlace with the other pinky or thumb on top. Open the chest on your inhale, then belly to thighs. As you exhale, start to straighten the legs any amount. Reach your arms up and over. If your legs are straight, shift your weight forward so your hips are over the heels. If you've got bent knees, then you can keep some more weight in your heels. Don't have to worry. Firm the legs though if they're straight. Begin to re-bend your knees. Reach your fingertips down, just brush them on the floor, and then reach the arms by the ears. Nice low Utkatasana, and then fold forward. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, step or float back for Chaturanga. Inhale to press up. And exhale all the way back. Come forward into plank pose and slowly lower to your belly. Okay, so we're going to take the arms by the ears, lightly press the pubic bone down, tailbone to heels, lift up into Shalambhasana with arms in line with ears. Keep the belly lifted, and then either stay or swim the arms back, reaching for pinky toe sides of the feet and lifting up into Dhanurasana. So the feet lift up and press back. Feet are hips width, or if you can touch your feet, you'll touch them. Take 2 breaths here. Keep a nice open chest, breathing into the chest. And if you've got any discomfort in the low back, any compression, just release it down and rest. And what you want to do is try to reach the tailbone more toward the heels and the hip bones up toward the low ribs, so you have more space in your back. Okay, so if that doesn't work for you to reach the feet, you're going to do another Shalambhasana, another locust. Otherwise, reach back for the feet, pick up into Dhanurasana again. Pressing the feet back, inner thighs are spinning up toward the ceiling, and then we're going to roll all the way onto the right shoulder. And it actually feels really nice. It helps to stretch the shoulders open so the shoulder blades are moving toward each other. It gives your shoulder that you're on a nice stretch. Inhale back to center. Fix yourself so you're nice and even and lift up. And then we'll exhale over to the left shoulder. Good. And still pressing the feet back. So basically the same thing when you're on your side as when you're on your belly. So feet are pressing back and away from your head. Come back to center. Fix yourself so you're centered, and then lift up one more time. Good. And lifting the feet up and pressing them back. Lift your belly a lot and release it down. Hands by the rib cage, pressing up and right back into a child's pose. So take a few breaths here in your child's pose. Come back to your Ujjayi Pranayama. In and out through the nose, little constriction in the back of your throat. And now Dolphin Pose. Interlace your fingers. Get your elbows right underneath the shoulders, or you can take your palms flat. Interlacing the fingers is a little bit easier. Palms flat's a little more difficult. Tuck the toes, lift the knees. If your palms are flat, be careful to make sure that your elbows stay under the shoulders and that your hands don't drift in toward each other. If they do, just interlace the fingers. So you're stretching back. This is a good shoulder stretch as well. Outer upper arms, triceps spinning back toward the feet. Biceps spinning forward toward the fingertips. And we'll come down to take a break. When you're in your dolphin pose, you will lightly press your shoulders up away from the floor as well. So we're going to do that again. Forearms down, elbows down, or interlace the fingers if you prefer. And press a little more weight into the thumb and first finger side of the hand if your palms are flat. Pressing your chest toward the thighs, lift your belly. Press into the elbows and the forearms and lightly lift the shoulder blades up toward the waist. And come back to the knees. Keep your hips right over your knees and then walk your hands forward as far as you're comfortable with. And we're going to stretch the chest toward the floor. However, keep your ribs pulled in, your belly lifted, and spin your inner arms up toward the ceiling, your outer arms down toward the mat. So So we're stretching in the upper back and shoulders this way. Let's come on back up. Now, if you have blocks, grab them. If you don't, just do the same stretch that we just did. If you do have blocks, you're going to make fists with your hands. And then instead of having the palms on the blocks today, I'm going to make fists and have your forearms on the mat with the thumbs up, because that way you've got the correct rotation in the arm, and then you're just stretching back again, same as before, but you might get a little deeper. Your chest is pressing toward the floor, but keep the ribs and belly pulled in so you keep some stability. And again, triceps spinning down, outer arms down, inner arms up. And we're coming up, moving the blocks again to the side. Make your way back into down dog, arms shoulder distance, feet hips width. Inhaling to plank. And exhaling chaturanga. Inhale, press into up dog or cobra. Exhale to downward dog. Looking forward, we're going to come all the way through and sit, step or hop, and lie back for a bridge pose. Feet hips width, outer edges of your feet parallel. Arms by your sides and lift up. Press down into the heels. Roll the shoulders under. Either point the fingertips up or interlace the fingers. When you roll the shoulders a little bit more, reaching the knuckles toward the heels, spin your spin your thighs in toward each other. Inner thighs down to the floor. Chin away from chest and chest toward the chin. So we're opening again the shoulders in the upper back. And then come on down to rest. So we can stick there with bridge pose, or if you want to take Urdhva Dhanurasana, wheel pose. I'm going to do it this time with blocks. However, I'm going to caution that if you're going to do it with the blocks, move your mat to a wall and press the blocks right up against the wall. Otherwise, they could slide. Mine slid a little bit. So I'm going to take the elbows straight up, come to the crown of the head, line up my elbows and wrists, and then come on up, spinning the inner thighs toward each other, and it gives me lots of space in my shoulders, so it actually feels like a really nice long back bend. So if you have tight shoulders, try the blocks. Come on down, chin in first, and lower down. Putting the blocks off to the side. And then we'll draw the knees in. And rock yourself a little side to side. Give your low back a little massage. And then rolling up and down the spine. Take a couple rolls. Come all the way up. Extend the legs and pull your toes back, firming the legs. And then bend your right knee and have a little space between your right foot and your inner thigh. Reach the right arm forward as far as you can and wrap it around that leg. Left arm behind. You're going to roll the left shoulder back a little and then exhale to come forward. This is Marichyasana A. The left toes are pulling back, and this is a nice shoulder stretch as well. And a forward fold after our back bends. Inhale, head up. Exhale, release. Straighten out the right leg, bend the left. So again, you got a little space, about a foot between your leg and your inner right thigh. Left arm forward. Bring it as far as you can forward and then wrap it around. And if you can't clasp your hands, then hold on to your shirt or a towel or a strap, and then lengthen your torso over the thigh. So instead of thinking head to knee, think belly to thigh, and then lengthen from there. Rolling the right shoulder back a little. Inhale, and lift the head. Exhale to release. Bend your right knee again. For Marichyasana C, reach your left arm up on the inhale. Exhale, roll the right shoulder back to twist, or leaning forward, get as much of that left arm across as you can and wrap. So another shoulder stretch. Inhale to lengthen up tall. Exhale, roll the right shoulder back, looking over the shoulder. If that's too intense for your shoulders, then stick with the first part of the pose. This can be a difficult shoulder opener for sure. Head to center, inhale. And unwind on the exhale. Straighten out your right leg, bend your left. Bring the left hand behind close to the spine, right arm up, inhale, and take it across to twist. We're going to scoot that arm across as much as you can and wrap it around. clasping your hands, or you could also use a strap here. Rolling now the left shoulder back, widening the collarbones. Keep the breath steady, turning the chin toward the shoulder. And then head to center, inhale, unwind, exhale, both arms up, inhale, exhale, Paschimottanasana. Lengthen the spine, inhale, keep the length, exhale. So again, instead of head to knees, think belly, thigh, and then reaching from there. And that way we don't have as much rounding in the upper back as we come forward. Pull the toes back, that'll help to keep the legs active. If you're up higher, look at your toes, and if you're down lower, look at your shins. Inhale, head up. Exhale, release. Come onto your back, feet flat on the floor. Take your right ankle above the left knee and thread the needle. Bring your hands through, holding the left shin, or you can hold behind the thigh. Stay there, or you can extend the leg, reaching for the calf a little closer to the foot, or you could still hold up on the thigh, just a bigger stretch. Keep flexing the right foot, the ankles flex, the toes pull back, and your hip opening. And let's release and switch. Left ankle above right knee, bring your hands through to hold the right leg. Either the shin or behind the thigh, you can stick right with this or extend the leg and hold on down further toward the foot, or if you can't do that, hold on still at the thigh. Nice steady breath here. And let's release that. Hug the knees into the chest. Lengthen the tailbone. And now we'll make our way into Shavasana, our final resting pose. So tailbone lengthens, shoulder blades down away from the ears, arms by your sides, palms up, and let your feet just flop open. And we'll just rest for a couple of minutes. This is where we can integrate all of the work that we did and let it sink into our bodies. So it's important to at least take a short Shavasana after practicing. So as you're resting, I'm going to chat for a moment or two. It's November when I'm doing this video, so we're coming toward the end of another year. And so when we come to the close of a year, I like to get a notebook and write gratitude for the year that's coming to a close, and then start to create intentions for the year that is coming in, the new year. So my teacher has me do it. I've been doing it for years now. I highly recommend it. If you write down your intentions, you can get in touch with your heart's desires and what you really would like to be doing if you're not. So, or maybe there's just some other hobbies that you wish you could do, whatever it is. Maybe you want to travel, maybe you want to change careers. Intend it in writing. And I've noticed for me over the last several years I've been doing this, that those intentions begin to materialize. And so keep in mind, if you want that intention, you'll probably get it. So be careful what you intend to bring in. And then keeping with our gratitude and our intentions, I have a quote from Howard Thurman who said, "Don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and go do it. Because the world needs people who have come alive." Take a few long breaths here and start to make some movements in your fingers, toes, your hands and feet, arms and legs. Take a nice long stretch, bend the knees and roll to your right side. Pausing a moment for gratitude for all of our blessings. And then slowly press yourself up to seated. Cross the shins, sit up tall, bring your hands together, palms touch. Let's bring our hands to the forehead to remind us to have clear and loving thoughts. Our hands to the heart center, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions. And our hands to the mouth, reminding us to have clear and loving communications. Namaste. Thank you so much for spending time today. And please subscribe. Please like the video if you did. Please leave comments about what you'd like to see. Tell your friends. If you can donate, we are so in need of a new computer. So any amount is so helpful. If you want to join me on the Ladies Yoga Retreat in February, please go to fightmasteryoga.com. And if you're interested in teacher training, please contact me there. Thank you so much. Namaste. Wonderful day.